Okay, so weekly update. So what happened this week? Today I ran the Fresno Marathon, the Two Cities Marathon, which for some reason almost everyone in Fresno calls the Twin Cities Marathon. It's not the Twin Cities Marathon, it's the Two Cities. It goes through Fresno and Clovis. Um, yeah, I was very unsure about what I was going to do at this race for a while. I originally wanted to try to run 3 hours. I think if things went a little bit differently, that uh, probably could have come close to happening. I had some issues with my right leg, kind of Achilles, lower calf muscle, which then compensating started having issues with my calf muscle, my left leg. But most of that got worked out. I didn't work out at all this last week. I took the whole week off. Ran a little bit with Sunny on Tuesday. We did our little video that we do every week, our run, eat, run video. Um, Ran real easy. Sunny, my friend Kate, who I work with, and I did that. We did like 3.5 or 4 miles, I think. Then I went out and did 4 miles on Wednesday. I kind of figured that I wanted to run a 7:30 pace for the marathon. So the goal that day was to run 7:30 just to kind of get it dialed in, and ended up running like 7:07 the first mile, 6:53 the next one, 6:40 something, then 6:30. So that did not go to plan, but that did give me some confidence in my speed because it felt really great running my 4 mile run at that speed. So I think that's just what I needed to do that day. But had in my head that I wanted to run a 7:30 pace. Um, so that was the goal, and pretty much stuck with that at the beginning. I knew that there's one section on the course. You go out north on Bryant Road, there's a downhill, then you have to turn around and climb all the way back up to the finish line. So I knew going in that if I really wanted to average a 7:30, I would have to run faster than 7:30 because there's no way I was gonna. I didn't practice that part enough to really get it dialed in like I usually do. I usually run this race as a pacer. I've done that since 2011. So this is my first marathon that I ran in 2009. Set my PR there. It was 3 hours and 28 minutes. Oddly enough, my bib number was 3:28. So I found that to be a little funny, and a good reminder of what time I needed to beat. It was just really funny that my bib was 3:28. My PR was 3 hours and 28 minutes. Um, and so in my head, I was kind of thinking if I hit 7:25 average, that would be cool. And I actually, my sister's texting me. So start off at 7:30, then gradually my average was 7:29 and 7:28, and I was just kind of going off feel. I was feeling good, so at one point, my friend Kyle, who some of you might know from my old trail running videos, he was out there doing the Fresno half of the marathon. He was going towards the finish line, and I was going out on Friant, and he asked me what my pace was, and I said 7:20, and it felt really good. I was looking at my splits, and it was cool seeing that I was gradually getting a little bit faster. But I knew that once I got down to the bottom of Friant and started climbing out, that it was going to take me about 30 seconds to maybe 45 seconds more a mile uh, on my pace. So I kind of started to try to kind of bank a little bit of time. I finished in 3:18:55, I think was the chip time. Garmin said like 3:18:59, so that was like just from the gun time. I'm happy with that. It's kind of funny. I want to say Michael and Andrea both, when they saw me today, were like, "Hey, how'd it go? We know you're probably not happy with your time because you usually aren't." And I was very happy with my time. I averaged a 7:31 pace. The course, of course, is long because generally that's how they do them. I knew going in that I was going to get about 26 and a half miles. Um, and every year when I run it as a pacer, I disregard what my average pace for 26.2 miles is, and I usually pace it as a 26 and a half mile run. And I usually come in within about 5 seconds of my pace time. So um, it was different not running it as a pacer. I only paced the 4 hour group at this event. So finishing 42 minutes ahead of schedule, what I normally would do out there was different. I caught a lot of the, so my start time was at 6:30. The Clovis half marathon, which is the route that we start with, started at 7:15. Then the Fresno section, which is the second part that we do, started at 7:30, and I caught a lot of the walkers. So when I got to Friant Road, which is the route the Fresno Marathon takes, I was constantly passing people, which was just weird because when I would pace the flower group, usually those people were further up the road, and I don't really see too many of them. So it was a little different mentally to have people that you're constantly passing during the race. It was, I don't know, it kind of made it a little bit, I don't want to say easier, but when you're passing people, I think mentally it's it's a positive thing, you know. Kind of gets you pumped up a little bit more. And in the Clovis section, I was going out back to Fresno, and I was in a position where I saw a lot of my friends who were doing the Clovis half coming up the trail, so I was going back, and I was running fast at that point because it was just exciting seeing all them, like, you know, giving people high fives, and just, it was really cool. I saw a lot of people who I train with at the gym that I teach at, and just friends I haven't seen in a while. So it was a really cool event. I really had a good time this year. It was different doing it as a participant and not a pacer, and it was a great experience. I think it's really the first time I've experienced this race since, like I said, I ran the marathon in 2009. They had a 50K in 2010 and 11. 2010 I ran it. It was funny, in 2010 our race was on a Sunday here, and I actually ran, I think it was the Santa Barbara marathon, was on Saturday, and I ran that, and then the next day I came back and I ran the 50K, and didn't have that great of a time because I was super tired. And the Santa Barbara, pretty sure it was Santa Barbara, that marathon just like kicked my ass. It took the life out of me. I think that was like my slowest ever marathon, and I ended up running the 50K faster than I ran that marathon, which is kind of funny. It was the next day, but yeah, so I've ran as a pacer every year since then. And it was cool being able to not have to have the responsibility of finishing at a certain time, even though in my head I still needed to finish at a certain time. Pacing is fun. It's challenging. And just running that consistent pace. I know when I run an event as a pacer, I try my best to hit every mile the same. So whether it's downhill, uphill, flat, and that's just part of, I think, your job as a pacer and finishing on time. But had a great time. Couldn't have done it without my training partners. Everyone at Fit 36 who I work out with, and that's also where I work and teach. You know, working out there, not that I'm trying to like promote where I work, but myself and Dre, who I work with, he ran the half, and I think he ran one of his faster times, and we were kind of just texting a few minutes ago, and I was like, man, you know, like, it's great that him and I ran fast, because I think it shows how cross training has, for me, paid off a lot. It's something I've always believed in, just not just running, but just being fit in general. You know, the fact that my PR was from 2009 when I was, I think, 32. Now I'm 40, and I shaved 10 minutes off my time. So I'm getting older, but I'm still beating some of my times from when I first started running. So I think that's great. But yeah, but also my training partners, you know, Megan, who I used to run with quite a bit. We haven't ran as much together lately, but talked to her. We kind of texted a little bit last night, and we want to try to figure out when we could run every once in a while. But you know, she's always been a great friend when it comes to just kind of keeping me mentally in check. But been running a lot with Sunny every Tuesday, Alicia every Sunday. Yeah, so I mean, running with them has been great. They've really pushed me and kept me accountable, and I hope I did the same. I've done the same with them. You know, it's nice having someone to run with 2 days a week, you know, and to have fun with just running, you know, and you know, sometimes just goofing around on the trail, around town, and keeping it lighthearted. And I know they all have goals too that they want to hit, so we're all just trying to, you know, help each other with that and kind of learn from each other. So yeah, between Alicia and Sunny, I know that I would not have finished as well as I did without running with those two. They are super strong runners and just really uh, great people to run with and talk to. And yeah, I appreciate their, them as training partners and as friends, and you know, just really great people. And same with Megan. We haven't hung out in a while, but yeah, she always comes around when I need someone to talk to and kind of sort stuff out. So hopefully Megan's gonna start running again. I think she's injured a little bit. She texted me yesterday and said if I need to run really slow to let her know, which is funny because she is the one person who actually got me to really start efficiently doing my speed work. Her and Sunny, they really kind of changed my outlook on running on the track and just kind of doing speed work, and got me a little bit more, I don't know, I think a little bit more structured with it. I used to kind of go out and not really have too much of a plan. So I've learned a lot from both of them, and Alicia's just been really, as much as she thinks she's not helping me on the trail, she's super strong. So we're gonna do a 50K together in December, and I think she's gonna do really well. I think I'm gonna have to probably try to keep up with her the whole time. But yeah, other than that, I got 2 weeks till my next race. Got 100K, the San Joaquin River Trail 100K. I'm excited about that race. I think it's going to go really well. I basically have about a week and a half to kind of, recover and train. Then probably well, actually, I won't be running because I have an event that I'm going to put on by On Shoes through Fleet Feet. So that's, I think, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before the 100K. So I guess no matter what, I'm not really going to be training too much the second week or the week before the race. So I'll have this week to train, basically up until Monday of next week. And then, yeah, I think at the On event that I'm going to, we're going to go on a couple runs. But other than that, I'll be basically getting a week and a couple days worth of training, then recovering, and then running the 100K. And I think taking off or training for 2 weeks, and then the 50K. And then I'm going to start my 10 marathons in 10 days thing in December for fundraiser for Campaign for Free Tibet. I'm excited and nervous about that, but it's something that I really want to do. And yeah, but other than that, had a great week. Want to give a little shout out to my friend Nancy. I'm not going to drop any last names because I don't want people stalking people. But we've kind of followed each other on Strava for a while, and I think she forgot how we actually started getting in contact with each other. I think she read my blog or something like that, and we just kind of messaged each other back and forth. But she did the New York Marathon today. Her phone died, so she hasn't posted it on Strava for me to check out, but I texted her today, and it sounds like she had a good time. So I like to say, good job, Nancy. Keep it up. Hopefully you'll find another race pretty soon, and keep running. And yeah, that's all I got right now. Till next week.